always filtered out. It's a switchable thing. Now you don't have to just use those two images to define the key clip. You also have an external source for the key clip. So we can use a third image to define the key clip. So in this case we've got the TV, and since I really don't like local television, I think I will take us back to Cartoon Network. Nice big solid areas of color. Works much better. So we can use that third image to define the areas, and then our other two images fill the two parts that we've defined. But we also don't need to use any image at all to define the key clip. We could be using an oscillator to define the key clip. So, you know, any voltage that we want, video, audio, an oscillator can define that key clip. And again, this is a soft edge keyer, so you can see that the oscillator bars are blending from one image to the other. If we go back to a hard edge, then it's a sudden switch from one to the other.
Can you oscillate between which the two video things are keying the other one? Does that make sense?
Say that in a different way?
Well, before you had it so that one video was keying against the other one, right? I don't know if I'm saying that, if that's the right term, but like, is there a way to oscillate between which one is controlling the other one? So like, one of them becomes, the colors of one are a pass-through for the video of the other one, and then it switches over so the other one, the second video,
yeah.
first.
The image that's defining the areas is called the key clip image. So it's one of three images. It's either internally one of the two images you feed in, or it's an external image. If you set it to the external image, it can come from anything.
Right.
If we bring it in from, say, the crossfader, the crossfader can fade between any two images. And we could feed those same two cameras over to the crossfader, and using an oscillator or a manual control or whatever we want, have that crossfade between those images, feed that into the key clip, and then as we crossfade, that's changing what it is that's defining the key areas in the image.
Got it. Okay.
So now, we also have voltage control over the key clip. So if we go back, say, to this type of keying, this key clip control that I'm doing here manually, choosing the shade of gray, that oscillator could also be adjusting that shade of gray for us. So now the oscillator is essentially turning that knob up and down. So it's moving the shade of gray up and down that we're doing the keying at. We can also key clip using an oscillator, and because it's a sine wave, you know, the key clip still positions, let's slow that down. The key clip still positions the shade of gray on that oscillator, but we can voltage control that oscillator And now we create shapes where those oscillators overlap. So now this oscillator is defining the key clip, and this oscillator is changing the shade of gray that we're keying on. So the combination of the two is defining a limited area of a shape. But we can also use another oscillator and modulate that first oscillator. And we don't have to stick with specific shapes. We can put that wiggle back into that first oscillator and create all sorts of wiggly shapes.
It looks like one of those like fancy like transitions they would do like on a 70s TV show. Like,
Yeah, right.
Those things that get bigger